Welcome to the fourth season and first summer season of Last Night Before the Jury podcast by Stu Designers. I am Şevval Mumcu, I'm the founder of the community and I will be moderating this summer season. Now we are in Austria, we are recording live and we have been hosting industrial and product designers from different universities and levels all around Turkey. This summer season we will be hosting design students from all over the world. And today I have two different guests. One is from Italy, one is from Georgia. Welcome, guys.
Hi.
Hi everyone. You say right, Şevval, all around the world, Italy and Georgia.
We will be talking about design, anthropology and design. I know it's a very different topic from our previous episodes, but let's start with introducing ourselves. Who are they? And David, we can start with you.
Hi guys, my name is David. I go by Dadash. My background is a bit complicated. My bachelor's degree was in marketing, so I'm a business major. After my bachelor's degree, I had a lot of different jobs in different companies, in different fields. But then at some point I decided that I want to go for creative field and I took different classes for graphic design, motion design, video editing. And I ended up studying visual communications as my master's degree. Currently, I'm in Salzburg for an exchange program for 5 months, which is nearing to the end. I'm gonna go back to my home country, Georgia. I'm from the capital. It's a big city, Tbilisi. And yeah, I'm excited to be on this podcast.
Yeah, great. But every design student in bachelor's always get that marketing class, but never talks about it or go deeper into about it. But we have the professional now, and we will see the perspective.
Professional is a very loud word, but yes. It's a very useful course as by itself. I'm not gonna talk about how useful the degree is by itself. But the classes and the understanding of what marketing is and how it works and why it's useful, I think not just designers, but every major should learn how to do, you know.
Because it's how you sell things.
That's how you sell yourself.
That's how you sell yourself, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, as designers, I don't like this term, but yeah, we should sell our ideas. That's true. Now let's hear from Marco.
Hi everyone, my name is Marco. I come from Italy. I lived in Milan and I did all the schools in Milan, so I grew up completely in Milan. I'm Milanese. I attended the High School of Arts when I was young because I'm a very fan of history of arts and I was a good artist and a good drawer. And during these 5 years, I had even the possibility to make some design projects. So instead I did a lot of paintings, sculptures. These kind of projects lead me to choose for my bachelor degree industrial product design in Politecnico di Milano. One of the most difficult, stressful university in the world, but for sure can prepare the students very well.
Yeah.
After the bachelor degree, I decided to do a master degree course about a more specific topic of product design. In this case is service product design, because during the last year of bachelor, I started to grow up interest about users analysis, understand the needs and the pain of the users. And I want to have explore different topics and gain more knowledge about this.
So you are in your master's degree?
I'm in my last semester of master degree. So after this Erasmus, I will come back to Milan in my stressful university to make my master thesis. About marketing, I would say that in my case, even if I don't have a background of marketing, the course that I attend in the third year of bachelor degree helps me a lot to understand even the words of marketing and finance, because you have to consider that if you are produce something, design something, you have even to sell it. So how we can have combine all the managerial knowledge to what we already know about design. So in my case, during the Politecnico Milano course. The professors of management comes from a management engineering department, so give us a lot of information, technical information, how to make a business plan, how to calculate the breaking even point. Maybe in some cases we don't even use it in the company, but in this way we can understand how the others, team members of the company works.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think this kind of thing is very important. If you work in a company, like in a consulting company, you need to know. If
Like
you
when you were design students, you don't give.
you don't give interest.
Yes.
You don't care about
You
that.
don't care about so much
Yeah.
about.
You care more about creativity.
Yes.
You want to make something unique.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
you have to consider that art and design are two different things.
Yeah, that's a big
That's true.
topic. That's whole another episode.
Because Dadash
Yeah.
or David says that, okay, I want to make something unique, I want to exploit all my creativity, I was like always interested in art, but we have to say that design is not art, and art is not design.
That's a good catch. That's
True. That's true. Okay, let me differentiate something here. When you look at marketing and design, they're not very different. From my experience, both are oriented and solving a problem. Both are oriented and like distributing some product. Doesn't matter if you designed it or not, but some product to the masses and to the population. Both are kind of problem-solving fields. So they're quite intertwined. Like I can say that this helped me transition from one field to another field. And like, I don't know, for me it will still be like design is like artsy marketing, you know? Like,
artsy.
yeah, you can frame it in many ways. You can frame it the other way, like make marketing as like more technical design or whatever you want to call it.
Interesting.
Yeah, but that's like a very fluid terms for me already, because I found out that all skills are transitional. Like you can transition from one field to another very easily, especially when it's like when it's fields this close together, because you design something, I don't know, if you're a designer, you need to create an artwork for it, you need to show it, and then you distribute it. And, but the chain of operations is very clear there. You design something, you make representation of this, and then you go and distribute it to the market after you produce it. Art is a very broad term, and it's even broader than I ever thought.
Of course, yeah. There is no one definition of art,
Yeah.
and there is even no one definition for design.
Exactly.
What is your definition of design, Marco?
Yeah, what is your
Okay.
definition?
Before all this, I have to say that I never seen marketing process in this way. You give me like a very interesting point of view.
Yeah.
Like there is a part of marketing that deals with just branding by itself. We studied color theory just as well as graphic designers do, or any other designers do, because when you're dealing with a company, you need to make them aware that their brand represents themselves and blah blah blah. You have to
For
create
sure.
all this identity, and like even if you're not designing visual material for a company, you still are in the, like, I don't know, you're still leading a research on how to create a better brand for the company. There comes a point in both fields where it's like the line becomes very, very thin, and you can, you can not differentiate anymore, you know?
Okay.
Yeah.
What is your definition of design, Marco?
Yeah, sure. Talking about design, I have like to think about it. One of definition that one of my professor in the master degree give us in the first lectures.
Okay.
It was an anthropology. This
Great.
professor, Raffaele Boiano, is an anthropologist, that give us this definition. Design is the rendering of the intent.
Okay.
How can I explain it?
You have to break the words
Yeah,
first.
please.
Yeah. So, if someone, a designer or a person, I think everyone can design something.
Yeah.
Maybe something that not come in the market, but everyone can design something. You start for something that you have in mind. So it's the rendering So you are defining something of your intent, of your intention.
What do you mean by intention?
I like this definition actually.
The intention is like, for me, is the process that you follow from the rough idea to the complete definition of the concept.
And I like it because it goes beyond designing products. Because
Yes.
you can design
Everything, yeah,
Because-
not just products, but services or even
Your
experiences. Exactly,
Yeah,
your
yeah,
life.
Your
Your
life.
life, yeah.
Because design
Good job,
doesn't
Shah.
mean that it's about product, it's about something physical. You can design your lifestyle as well.
Yeah.
It's a approach to do something. When the anthropology professor was saying everybody is a designer, I mean, I think he meant this way. Because what do you mean by everybody is a designer?
The fact that we design our future, we design our daily lives, and if you're unaware of what decisions you make during the day, someone else will make it for you.
Yes, decisions, because design is a choice. Design is eliminating something or picking something, choosing something, right, Marco? Because
Yes.
in the process of design, you always have a lot of ideas and you have to eliminate a lot of them.
Yes,
Design is a choice.
yeah, but it doesn't mean it doesn't mean that if you decide in some moment of the process to say, okay, this idea is not valuable, doesn't mean that you after 1 month you say, okay, maybe
Yes.
maybe could be interesting to bring back this
Yes.
idea.
Because design process is reversible.
It's reversible.
You can go back, you can re-evaluate yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Your decisions. I mean, while talking process of design, I would like to ask you how you design things and how is your process going on?
I'm not a product designer. I'm from the different field. So
Okay.
I mean, designing a graphic as well it's a process. So
Yeah, of course, but I'm sure there will be differences. So
yes, of course. Go
Okay,
ahead.
talking about product or service design, I think the most usable approach that you can use is the design thinking. And try to use this kind of method that is the double diamond. What I have to say, design thinking, where it comes the double diamond, the design thinking is a way of is approach that the designers has to be in order to design something that could be useful for human and design it for human. Otherwise, no one can interact with that.
So you are centering human and
Exactly.
you are using a method called double diamond.
Exactly. Because without that, for me, you cannot design something that is valuable.
How do you apply it to your process, the method?
For example, use a wall and put all the post-it there. Okay, this is an interesting point to start. From that, we can start our research. Usually, the most interesting methods of research are the interviews or the focus groups. The interviews as the point to get the reasons behind the choices and the behavior of the person.
So you do that.
I do that. I did that even during my work.
See, I'm sorry I interrupted you, but this is already a difference. I don't, because of my field, because my product is usually digital, I don't have to do any research. I don't have to do any interviews. Like, of
Exactly.
course I do research,
Okay.
but my research is very different.
You do it how?
Depends on the brief, because I don't do just static design. I don't do just posters. I also do animations and the motion design.
Mhm.
So depends on the brief. Depends on what product I'm creating. But my research usually involves just finding creating a mood board, finding references, colors, and deciding what works in the. What's a similar product that already exists? How has it worked? How has it failed? I do all the research, but I don't need to communicate with potential users
Okay.
for designing a poster, or an animation.
Yes,
I can,
Yeah.
that's a very
avoid this.
distinguished differentiation.
According of service design, product design, where the users interact every day with these
of
products,
course,
you need to understand
Of course, yeah.
what the person think about it, behave, because just from that you can understand very, very well which are the needs and the pain points of the users.
Yes.
And I still think about the end user. I still think about the audience, how they're gonna receive it, and who is the audience. And I still have to adapt my designs to people who are gonna see it. But I don't need this in-depth analysis of what every customer is gonna think about it. And
The commonality is that you both put human into the center.
yeah, it's essential to
It's
think.
essential.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's the
In a
beginning.
different way, but it's essential.
Do you do interviews for all your school projects?
I do, and not only for my projects, but even during my internship, I make an internship as a product researcher. So my task was to make interview with all the users and the clients of the company, of my consulting company. So I had to do it.
After interviews, what do you do?
After the interviews, we have like a very long report with all the things that the user says, and from that we have to detach the most interesting things that we want to collect, and just from that we start to create insights. We collect the insights in order to understand which are the most interesting things to start designing.
And do you do this interviews before the design process? Or
In the beginning, I guess.
It's just one of the first steps
Okay.
okay.
After that,
in order to discover
Yeah.
the topic
points.
and the pain points.
because you will design accordingly to your
According to that.
to the answers of that interviews.
Yes. I think
Like drawing. you know.
No.
Design is not only drawing,
Yeah.
guys.
You're not just designing services, you're designing interviews and surveys. as
Exactly.
Yes,
Oh,
exactly.
this is a very interesting
well.
point.
Yeah.
I spent hours to design an interview.
Because the correct question gives correct answer.
Exactly. I want to say that the interview is one of the most important things in the design process for a service designer. Because if you prepare a very good questionnaire and in a very structured way, you can have all the possible insights in just one, two interviews.
But this is for me, this is the boring part of design.
Yeah, it sometimes could be very boring.
especially
Sometimes
the
could be
process,
very boring.
The process, I love researching in the process in the beginning, but I like reflecting the research with my creative drawings.
But here we arrived to a point where it's again marketing and design become very similar, because right now I'm studying master's degree in visual communications, but I don't have this qualitative and quantitative research involved in the studies. But I did all of this in my bachelor's degree while I was doing marketing, because you still need people's feedback to understand where the problem is or where the solution might be.
Yes, the common ground is the solving a problem, like Marco said.
Yeah.
Point where we say, okay, after the interviews and we read all the reports, we have some insights. From that insights, we can build some How My We questions. We use these.
We questions, yes. Maybe we can talk about that.
Yeah, sure. The How My We questions are the last step before we can design concepts. So from the How My We questions, we have the insights, and from the insights, we build these questions that are, for example, how might we can improve this according for what we found during the interviews.
Okay.
Because during the interviews we find some problems, some insights, and from that question, according to that, we can start to design something.
Yeah. So you get your ideas with that questions, and then what you do?
Usually when we define one or two questions, we go in the wall. We have a very big amount of stickers, and we can just to write everything we pass in our mind. Even the most dumbest and stupid idea are very useful because some dumbest idea could lead to other interesting ideas.
That's very great because like you have to embrace those silly ideas because maybe that can inspire you in the later of the process.
This is the key of these activities because you have to do this activity in group sometimes, and everyone has to participate and comment.
Yeah, brainstorming.
Yeah, it is the key of the brainstorming. But the key of the brainstorming, when you create, just write everything you pass in your mind, is comment the other ideas, but never judge the other ideas. This is the key point.
Never judge.
Never judge in the first point.
I mean, I judge myself so much.
Yeah, I think everybody in design does this.
Yeah, I know, but
unintentionally you judge things.
Intentionally you judge, but in that moment you say, okay, we have this idea. From that we can find other ideas. You don't have to say this is stupid or this is impossible. Because as we say, even the dumbest idea can help us to find other possible ideas.
That's true.
Great.
So for that reason we don't have to judge it.
That's inspirational. I like it. And how do you approach to this, David?
That's very true. My initial process of the design involves just writing down words associated with the brief. Like I would probably, for the first half hour, I guess, I don't know, I would sit down and just scribble down any word that's associated with the brief, maybe up to 20 words. Then I would just go and probably mix the words, like which word goes with what, like if I can build the story out of it. Depends. It's very contextual of like what I'm doing. But usually the process goes like this. It starts like this. Then as I said, I go look for references online of what I'm trying to accomplish. I make a mood board. Depending on the client, because I do freelance work mostly, depending on the client's agreement, I go after each step. I notify them like, okay, now I'm at this point. You want to have a look or not? I try to not show them design until I have like maybe 3 or 4 possible options that they can choose from, because usually the more choices you give to the this is already like how the customer reacts, but usually it's a good idea to give the customer as little options as they can, because if you give them like 5 options, they're gonna think about all of them for a long time. But if you give them like 2 options, here, this and this, they will just pick the one that you like right away. This is a small tip for all the graphic designers out there.
But as you said before, even if you are a different field of design, you say that you use some methods that are the same in service design, for example.
Yeah.
Because, as we say, brainstorming can be used even as a mind map. And the mind map works as we pick a word, and starting from that words, we can like start to develop some tree, where are different words that are linked with that starting point. And you can make the same with the image. You're starting for a reference as an image, and from that you can say, okay, what I can find like close to that, what kind of vibes can give me these words or this image to start to brainstorm.
With all these activities, we are trying to build a connection with the end user, guys, you know?
Yeah.
And these activities, mind maps, brainstorming, images, vibes, these are all for building a connection with the end user, like being an empathetic connection with the end user.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's true.
Empathize is one of the key to be a good designer. To be a good designer, in all the steps, you have to empathize to the end users. So just with that, you can do a very good project, a very good service, a very good experience, whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
Because if someone designs something that no one interacts with, design has failed. This is one of the references that we learn during anthropology course, said by Norman, that give me a lot of interesting points to start to make reflections.
Yeah, that's why I actually took this class, Anthropology and Design. I would like to build this empathetic connection much more easily, because when you are saying anthropology, I'm like, oh, now we will learn about human and their lifestyle, their now how they live right now, and how am I going to connect with them much more easily. I mean, that was my idea while taking this anthropology and design course. How was your expectations while you were choosing this course, and what did you get from that course, guys?
The class was not surprising for me because I already knew a lot about anthropology, because I was always interested in human psychology. So through the years of research and just trying to kill my curiosity, I learned a lot by accident. By accident, yeah. I can recommend listening to Robert Sapolsky. He's an amazing lecturer. His lectures are free on YouTube if you are interested in anthropology by itself. But I was always curious about making this connection of human behavior and design, which is like, it's very correlated today. It's very easy to see, but it's silly that there's not a lot of places where you can make this connection by just studying this. And I think our lecturer made very good points by introducing us to problems of today's society, not just from design perspective, but also by the end he managed to talk about the vast topics that we talked about there and combine it into like a handbook that we as students can use together. It's very good.
Yeah, I would say that almost the same, but in some points I have to say that okay, I already picked some courses that talk about anthropology, ethnography, but so some topics I already know that the professor can talk about this. Yeah. But in the end, I was very surprised because starts to talk about the most crazy things, the tragedy of the commons, the role of the religion even in the...
Because it's all about human, guys.
That was surprising.
Surprising.
Having a
Buddha, I talk about Buddha.
Yeah, we talked about Buddhism as well, because, religion is all about humans, and humans that in that course we were always talking about humans and how we live and how we give meaning to things and how our rituals are and why design is important while pointing out that rituals, blah, blah, blah. We talked about a lot of things, tragedy of the commons, religions, blah, blah, that everything that affects humans, basically, we talked. But I would like to ask you that how do you connect anthropology and design?
The very important quote about this that stuck with me was, I forgot who said this, but the quote goes, we are designing for people with Paleolithic emotions, medieval institutions, and godlike technologies.
Yeah, godlike technologies.
Yeah. And I think this sums up how the anthropology connects to design and our predicament today, the way we live today as well.
Quote. I think it's even like scary.
Yeah, it is. It's scary.
It's very scary because you have to think about it. Us as person, we are living in a world with a medieval institution and with a mind that it could be like prehistoric or Paleolithic, but we have the tools that seems like built by God, and maybe sometimes could be like dangerous because maybe we are not like able to like manage what we have created in terms of technology.
Yes.
We have a problem catching up with our technologies today.
Yes.
This was it's very scary to realize that we've created something, we've invented a technology that we cannot understand what it does to us. It changes our daily life in a way that we cannot even understand what's the long-term effect, because we still don't know how all this past 20 years of social media activity, how it's going to influence us in 10, 20 years, it's just basically an experiment that we're just now finding out.
Sometimes the role of a designers as to be even a good anthropologist, because they have to understand how to manage what you have to create in terms of technology in order how to use it to make something good for the human.
Yeah.
This is the key, because as you say, we are like we have a paleolithic mind, and we live in a medieval institution. So the designer have to be evolved and use it in a very good way. This kind of technology, otherwise, it could be very dangerous.
Or could be very silly. Like designing a water bottle that tells you to drink water because you don't have an instinct of thirst.
It don't make any sense.
Yeah, we talked about this as well, right?
Like the most dumbest things that everyone can has designed.
And then people are thinking that this is design now.
It's a smart bottle,
Yeah.
What is a smart bottle, you know?
Everything that has a sensor or remind you something is smart, but that doesn't mean that smart is intelligent in this case.
Yeah, exactly.
I think one of the most smartest things that the designers has designed during the years doesn't need sensor. If something is very easy to understand and the person can interact every day, even without a sensor, I think it's a smart design for me.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
You can break the words like that into this, and you can have this outcome from this class. But I would like to ask you the last question, you guys. I mean, you had a lot of education from different parts of the world, from different institutions. You had bachelor's in product design, you had a bachelor's in marketing, visual communication, service design. Like, there is a lot of things going on, and I don't know what you will do in the future.
My plans for now are to just get in the Fachhochschule Salzburg University. Hopefully, I will be studying human-computer interaction for the next 2 years. I am interested in this field because it's like a logical continuation of graphic design in a way, and I'm going for creative director position in creative agencies. So human-computer interaction is going to be very useful for my career, and just in general it's a very interesting field because it involves not just design but also computer sciences, psychology, history, and everything that you need.
All the things that we talked about in anthropology.
Exactly, yes.
I would like to ask, what is human-computer interaction? And Marco, do you have any input about this because you are studying service design?
This kind of topic is very important for the service designer in the next step of user experience. But when you pass from the user experience in the interaction design, so how you can use what you learn in terms of design experience, and then from the design experience, how we can design a interface according to what the people behave with an app or with a service, with a e-commerce, for example. So this is, I think, is the key.
Yeah, that defines the program of human-computer interaction very well, actually. It involves user experience as well. We're gonna probably learn a lot about human psychology, how to interact with our everyday devices, basically, not just phones. Phones designed very well enough for us to just understand what they do now, but also how to interact with artificial reality or augmented reality or virtual reality, or I don't know, how to design apps, as Marco said. And it's a very nuanced field. You need to learn about more small gestures and small details that human psyche does without us even understanding it.
Yes.
So we're gonna have to go in depth of probably neuroscience as well, because we need to know what stimulates our brain, how it's gonna, like, what kind of a addition to the app is gonna make it more accessible to end users, and so on and so forth. It's
Exactly.
very research based and also practical program.
Usually, these kind of designers, in a very practical way, as to understand how the people behave. So in that way, can like design a very good information architecture of the service. From that, the designers can like design possible users flows, and from that, thanks to the user flows, can start to design interfaces.
Do you think that as a product service system designer, you will work with human-computer interaction?
Absolutely, you have to.
In the future?
In the future, absolutely.
So it's your plan?
It's almost my plan, yeah. I think after the Erasmus year, I have to do my master thesis. Thanks to that, I will finish my master course. I think the topic of my master thesis could be about inclusivity design. So which could be the role of service design in order to like include even like person that sometimes are not considered in the design process. And after that, I think my plan could be like work in some agency of or some design studios that works with other big company in order to make for them services or improve their e-commerce service, something like this.
Okay, I get it. One last question. Do you think that it's easy to find the jobs that you want in your countries?
No, for Georgia, I'm gonna say no. In Georgia, besides unemployment rate, is the fact that employers usually don't know what they're looking for. They would say they're looking for a graphic designer, but the requirements would be like, oh, you gotta know this animation program as well, and you're gonna know how to make presentations and all the other things that are not obligatory for a designer. But they just know this, I don't know, they have this idea that they want, they've heard somewhere, this graphic designer or a motion designer. They put out a vacancy, but in reality, they're looking for a slave. They want you.
In Italy, I have to say that the chances to work in this field are exactly in Milan or in Rome. In other places of Italy, it's very difficult to find positions.
As designers?
As designers, especially as service designer. So I think you have to move in the most biggest cities in Italy. Could be Rome, Milan, absolutely Milan, and Turin. But I will say thanks to the pandemic, but thanks to the possibility even to work remotely. For example, from my experience, my shift during my internship changed the job, and now work from Milan remotely with UK Spotify as service designer. So now there is even this possibility, because service designer has to be even a job that you can work remotely.
Yes.
So
yeah, that's great. Okay, thank you guys for your contribution to this episode. I really enjoyed having your experiences and having your future plans and having you in my class in Anthropology and Design. We thanks to that class, we talked about a lot of things and related to design. And
Thank you very much for having us. Yeah, it's a very interesting podcast.
thank you for all the audience out there who are listening to us, who are getting inspired by our conversation. I would like to say goodbye to you. Good day, good evening, and good night, guys.
Bye.